You lied about a beauty accord. Everything else in your book is a lie. In your book, if you lied about a buri, that you were having malaria and did not know what you signed, then everything else must be all lies.
You claim to be a Christian. You waited till Ojuku is dead and started talking and started lying. You can't redeem your legacy with lies.
You lied that most the bullets and most bombs from the Nigerian army hit the palm trees and not human beings. Asaba massacre, people dressed in white.
They're the palm trees.
Women and children in the market square, they are palm trees.
Right?
Your book belongs to the dustbin.
Trash bin.
Nigeria problems today.
Credit to you.
Hey. General Yakubu, go on, you cannot redeem
your legacy with lies.
Today I told it, you live in Britain.
I told it.
And not in your one Nigeria that you murdered for.
Killed for. Ego genocide.
Ego
Holocaust.
Africa.
First bandits.
When was the last time you visited your village? You are the first bandit Nigeria ever produced.
Decisions you made destroyed Nigeria until today.
General Yakubu Gowon, Nigeria
first bandits. You lied about our beauty accord.
You were suffering malaria and did not understand what was discussed.
Everything else in your book must be all lies.
When you get to heaven, if you ever get there, God will ask you why you lied at all day.
Old man, God kept you alive for a reason, but you have failed to repent.
The hottest
part
of hellfire has been prepared for you.
He said.
No peace and happiness for you.
Not at all.
Amen. Ojuku will be fanning your hellfire,
adding fuel to firewood.
Nigeria
First bandit. Asaba people dressed in white are palm trees.
Nigeria
First bandit.
2 million children starved to die.
Palm trees.
Africa
First bandits.
God kept you alive for a reason, but you have failed to repair.
General Yakubu Gowon,
You cannot redeem
your legacy with lies.
Ojuku will be fanning your hellfire.
Adding fuel to firewood.
Asaba people,
Palm trees.
Nigeria,
First bandits.
you will live to see
Nigeria separates. Spirit of 2 million children starved to death. At work.
our palm trees.
Aburi accord malaria. Africa first bandits.
Read my lips, Igbos must be free worldwide before your eyes. Amen.
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 Hello, good evening, Biafrans all over the world. Good evening and welcome to BTV Europe. It's my pleasure to have you on this wonderful program. I want to say welcome once again as you join us. Please make sure that it on Radio Biafra Live. We also have it on Telegram Live and so many other global channels that are streaming this program at this point in time. I want to welcome Biafrans all over the world, our viewers. It is my pleasure and I'm glad to be here once again. Last week, we were here and we made a very, very wonderful presentation as regards to the institutionalization project of IPOB. A project that is inevitable as it stands today, and a project that Biafrans all over the world have given their backing and support, and we cannot go back on it as long as we all believe in the agenda to better our struggle and also build a better future for the next generation of Biafrans. With me, as usual, Doctor us Chika Austin, because I'm beginning to now put those titles on their name, and Doctor Obasi. Dr. Basi also is in the studio. As they join us, I would like to welcome them and also welcome our viewers and Biafrans all over the world. Today is a very wonderful day, another Friday for that matter. And we are considering making this a regular program. We are considering making it a regular Friday program. But as time goes by, we're going to solidify in that agreement to make sure that we'll continue to come live at this time on every Friday. And we are working assiduously in that direction. It is my pleasure. My name remains Ikem Patrick DK. I'm your presenter on BTV Europe. I would like to see Mazi Chika Austin if he's available, and also Obasi. These are two uh, philosophical doctors who deserve the title that Biafrans have given to them. And I can tell you that at every point in time they come on this program, they have always proved themselves. Mazi Austin, are you there? You're welcome to the program.
Thanks so much, Master Patrick. He came. I want to say good evening from here. I want to thank our great listeners, lovers of freedom, and above all, the great individuals, especially our technical team, who are on scene. They real on scene hands anyway. As a matter of fact, I want to say good evening from my location. Thanks for having me here once more. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Mazi Austin. It's my pleasure to have you on BTV Europe, and I'm also glad, the honored our invitation as usual. I want to say thank you for honoring our invitation. We'll wait for Mazi Obasi to come forward. While we wait for Mazi Obasi to come forward, Mazi Austin, last week we had a very candid conversation as regards to the institutionalization of IPOB. And many will be wondering, why is the topic not going out? Why is it not being dropped? Or why are people not, have we not discussed enough of it, Mazi Austin? Because I know it will be on a lot of people's mind that this institutionalization has become a very long subject. In your view, how do you address such concerns of people who feel that by now we would have dropped the issue of institutionalization and possibly to face other issues, in their own opinion?
Well, when one says one has overemphasized on the issue of institutionalization, perhaps the person lacks clear understanding of what institutionalization is all about. Let me give you a classical allusion. The institution you know today as European Union was a project of 1950s. The initiative started in 1950s, if I'm not mistaken. And to today, Europe is still talking about institutionalization. You see, institutionalization is not just something you look at from federalist approach. It's a sectorial stuff. You can go institutionalization in terms of media. You can go institutionalization in terms of your defense. In the case of freedom fighting, you can also go institutionalization in terms of your diplomatic arms. So when you talk about institutionalization, is not a federalist stuff. Rather, it is something that every day you keep on explaining, because every sector you want to activate the institutionalization process, you have to communicate, you have to explain, you have to inform the populace the reason of institutionalizing that sector. So when we talk about institutionalization, it's not just a pronouncement. If it is a pronouncement, it's something that stops at mere pronouncement. One can say, "Oh, you have really overemphasized on it," but it is something that has to do with act. ACT. It has to do with doing. So you cannot overemphasize an action. It's practically impossible. You cannot say, "Oh, I have overemphasized on action." Such is not obtainable in any way, in any form, in any dimension. So basically, the institutionalization as regards to a movement for self determination cannot be overemphasized.
Yes, Mazel Basi, you're welcome to the program. Are you there?
Yes, Mazi. My network
Yeah, you're
is
welcome to the program.
misbehaving.
It's my pleasure to have you. You were supposed to have done your introduction, even though you don't need much of an introduction. But for the benefit of Hindsight and also for those who are watching us for the first time, I would like you to introduce yourself to our guests and viewers. And we'll bring you forward with the first question, Mazi Abasi.
Ndewo, Mazi. Thank you very much, Mazi Patrick, for having me here. I also want to thank Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world for sparing their time to be with us. We would not have been here if we were to be talking to ourselves. So they're the reason why we are here, and we want to appreciate their time. I also want to greet my brother, my senior, Mazi Chika Austin, for also sparing his time to be here with us. My name is Mazo Obasi, as always, and we are here to do our best. Ndewonu.
Thank you, Mazio Basi. There was a question I put across to Austin earlier, and I said many will be wondering. Every day we are coming to talk about institutionalization. It has become a very huge topic, and many will be wondering why the institutionalization on a daily program like this. Why is it essential for us, in your opinion? What do you have to say to those who feel that the institutionalization topic doesn't want prolonged discussion?
Okay, thank you very much, Mazi Patrick. You see, leadership, I like to treat leadership as an art. One of the problems of the general masses is that the public are usually tempted to see leadership as a science. But leadership is not a science, and there are only few people who understand that leadership is an art, not a science. And because of that, only few people have the patience to wait and see the outcome of that vision of the leaders. By this, I mean it is normal for the general public to want to think that we are talking too much, or we have been belaboring the entire issue. I hope I'm coming out. I see that you're frozen. Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead. You are coming out clearly.
All right, sir. It is normal for the general public to take that position, and that is why we are here talking about it all the time, so that in the course of talking about it, like you asked today, we are able to address that misconception. So, when a leader has a vision, or when leadership has a vision, that vision is in their mind. The picture is already complete. Where they want to go, where what they want to achieve is already a complete image in their vision. To communicate that vision to the general public who are not seeing what the leadership are seeing takes time. To implement it, for it to take root, takes time. So there's series of steps that needs to be taken before things are implemented. One of the key things that need to be achieved before any kind of process or new initiative will be properly implemented is that the people need to properly understand it. And I mean every single person as much as possible. Yes, some will understand it and still reject it. Some will understand it and, based on their own philosophy, say, no, we don't like it. We prefer it this way. Just like some people like democracy, some like other form of government. But the critical part is, have you explained that vision, that picture that you have as a leader, of which you are painting gradually as an artist? Have you explained it very well that the general public understand it to decide whether or not they like it, and then test the pause and see where they are actually going to? So in the end, it is about the public. People or Biafrans should even be happy that this leadership are taking this approach of explaining and explaining and explaining until people properly understand it. And that is what is happening, Mazi Patrick.
Thank you very much. That is quite, that is in fact, top-notch analysis there, because explanation requires a lot of communication. And in a relationship where there is no communication, there is bound to be gap, and that gap could create a crack and also damage such relationships. So I understand, like you said, that explanation is important, which means communication is very, very important to be able to build a bond, a relationship between the leadership and its people and the followers. Mas Justin, there's a reference you made to the European Union institutionalization project that actually started around 1954, and today we still have the EU continuously. And recently, despite the strong European Union bond that they've shared, even for more than 5 decades, something happened in an island in Spain where Italy actually, rather than going to assist Spain, in curtailing the immigration situation, automatically suspended a bilateral relationship and Schengen agreements. Now, in this kind of situation, I'm trying to, because we'll still come to African Union as well. In this kind of situation, uh, what how do we, if such a relationship, such an institution could falter over simple issues that would have been handled differently politically? You saw Schengen agreement being suspended between Italy and Spain, and so many other countries are now beginning to find fault and sort of
Sorry. Okay. 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 I made reference of, or I cited the issue of European Union to buttress the fact that institutionalization concept cannot be overemphasized. The reason why I pointed European Union is for our people to understand that since 1950s, that the process of setting up. Okay.
Some Yes, I think I'm back. I had some network issue. Mazi Austin, did you understand the question that I put across to you?
Yes, I did understood, uh, and I was trying to explain
Okay.
before. So okay, let me go on.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
go ahead.
I had a reason of citing European Union and her birthday, or should I say the decade at which she was bettered, for us to understand that issue of institutionalization is a process. In as much as it is a process, and not just a process, it is sectorial. So sectorial, I mean, is that you cannot discuss institutionalization from comprehensive approach. It doesn't work that way. For instance, the leadership is talking about bringing an ideal charter. Permit me to use that language. Bringing an ideal bond. You might call it constitution. You might call it code of conduct. But the outdated one, or the suspended one, or the abrogated one, was not geared towards institutionalization. It is just like Nigeria saying she's a democratic country, when her constitution, at which she leverages, is just like a military degree. It was a brainchild of military dictatorship. It's a juxtaposition that somebody is parroting to be a Democrat, and in the same way running with you know military degrees. So it is. First of all, like I said, it is a sectorial thing. It's something you must handle sector upon sector. The leadership has come, first of all, to know that you cannot talk about institutionalization without bringing a charter that is conformity, that is intended with institutionalization. Because when you talk about institutionalization, you're talking of, that is what it is. You're talking about basically corporate entity, corporate identity, not individual identity. So why the leadership is first of all handling the issue of charter. You might call it constitution, you might call it code of conduct, whatever you want to call it. But that which bonds the people together, they have to explain. When that is done, or attain to a certain height, if she moves to another aspect of the struggle, which is sector, she also has to explain. But let me tell us, we must understand that the process of institutionalization is something that must be developed sector upon sector until the mother project is restored. Take note of that. So why I made reference of EU is to tell us that despite European Union spending over 5 decades developing sector upon energies, defense, immigration, monetary, every sector of the institution they were developing, when they perfect in one sector, they activate another sector, that even till today, as I speak to you, European Union is still looking for another sector to institutionalize. So it cannot be overemphasized. It's something that you must configure the people to understand that it is sectorial science. It develops from one sector to another. You cannot discuss it from federalist approach. You cannot discuss it from comprehensive approach because there is no institutionalization that goes in compound form. It doesn't work that way, Maz. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Quite understandably. Mazi Obasi, is there something you'd like to add to what Mazi Austin have said as regards to the point he has raised? Citing European Union as an example. And sometimes I also made a reference to what happened in Spain recently, that despite the institution. Very EU has a very very strong institution, and the bond that they've had over the year, over 5 decades now. Something happened recently, and we saw the way some EU countries like Italy reacted to it. Does it mean that it's not institutionalization is not as easy? Because it's important that we explain to our people that institutionalization is a very complex is a complex issue, and that is not as easy as it might sound. Mazi Obasi.
Thank you very much, Mazi Patrick. I'm not well vested in the EU example and the recent event that you are making reference to. So I would not like to directly comment on that, but on a general sense and in in terms of organizational structure and institution, yes, it's not an easy thing. An entity or an organization does not become an institution because uh, it has been registered or because it has created departments or because it has appointed you know directors and in this case principal officers. It doesn't make it an institution. An institution institutionalization takes time because it is not just about creating those structures, those departments. It is about making those structures to function and function reliably, to continue to perform that function predictably. There should be predictability and continue to perform that function legitimately. And these functions is considered to be predictable because does not change based on a change in leadership. That is why the the template that was announced by our leader, Mazichika Dibia Edoziem, I keep talking about this. It keep making reference to the founding principle of IPOB, commitment and allegiance to that founding principle. It means that IPOB have certain set of behaviors. If you have to if you want to personify IPOB as an organization, it has certain set of behaviors that we have publicly stated that these are our characteristic and we should be known as such, of which over time the nature and the character of the one spearheading it seem to have gone contrary to those principles that we have claimed to have subscribed for, which we believe indeed it should be our characteristic, it should be our identity. So to make it an institution ensures that whoever comes in to lead this institution will not change the behavior of the institution to his behavior or to adapt to his personal behavior, but rather that anybody who leads the institution will behave in a manner consistent with the constitution of that organization, in manners consistent with the professed value of that institution. And that is what makes it predictable. And only an institution can guarantee that. That is one of the reasons why it takes time to implement all these departments, all these arms, all these organs, all these chambers to ensure that they function reliably and predictably. So you don't expect that to be a one-day thing. And like Mazi Chika also say, you keep institutionalizing it stage by stage.
Thank you very much. I almost started speaking in my local language here. I wanted to say grazie. Mazi Obasa, I know you do not understand my language, but we have to maintain our English. Now, there is a question I want to put across to Mazi Austin, and I know you would be good in responding to this question. The institution that we've seen, the template that we've seen presented by the head of Directorate of State is an institution backed by law and by constitution. Does this constitution authenticate the validity of this institution? Mazi Austin, explain to our viewers how the constitution that backs this institution, how it authenticates and validates the institution itself. I don't know if you really understand the question clearly.
Yes, I think I got the question. Like I said, you cannot talk about institution when the charter that binds the people together is individual centric. It is a great juxtaposition. There's no how you can talk about having a charter in one hand that is configured towards promotion of an individual, and the same time you're talking about institutionalization. The two cannot go together. So for you to even talk about institutionalization and expect the people and the global community to understand what you're talking about, the first thing, first and foremost, you have to present a corporate oriented charter. You might call it constitution, you might call it whatever you want to call it. And that is the first and foremost the leadership did. The previous charter that binds the people together in IPOB was individual centric. And just like the theological theory that says that the old law was obsolete and the new law brings life. That is a strong reference at which one can or could give to the former constitution and the new one. So you must first of all present something that is compatible with the signal at which you are giving. So what the leadership did in this case was first of all move it from individual centric posture or charter to corporate, or should I say institutionalized posture. And that is quite commendable because now, as you're reciting that particular charter or constitution, as the case may be, you are seeing yourself owing your allegiance to the mother project. you are seeing yourself that every loyalty, every commitment you are doing is to the mother project. In that circle, you are not seeing no individual. And that is, all these things, just like national anthem or the constitution of state or constitution of state actors, whatever you recite have a psychological moderation on the individual. It's not just happening passively. Whatever you recite, whatever you continuously, read out, it has a way, it has it sends a psychological configuration towards the wordings of those charters and laws. So what the leadership did was to first of all set the foundation, because you cannot be talking about institution and when your constitution is talking about individual, it's quite disagreeing. Ndewo.
We have been talking about individualism and the corporate body. I remember between 1967 to 70, during the war, there was this scenario where the war was kind of pointed towards an individual, which was the leader of the leader of the Biafra people at the time, Odumegwu Ojukwu, where we saw the Nigerian state trying to make the Biafra war look like Ojukwu war. And at every point in time that we saw statement, the reference is always, his name is always at the forefront. It was like he was the one that was propelling the war, that it was not the will of the people that they create a state for themselves. That brings us to the issue of individualization. And I would like our technical director to play a video of some communities in our region who have also make it look like what happened in their community was as a result of an individual defect. Names were being called, pointing at an individual, at a particular individual who happens the former leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, when we are going to look at this video from every aspect of it, but we are going to look at the individualization and the implication it carries when a struggle and a movement is portrayed towards individual. So please, I would like the audio, the video to play. Let us listen to what this community are saying.
Aha ọbụla sọrọ nnukwu ọnụ ya ihe anyị ma onye bịara be anyị bụ Nnamdi Kalụ Nwafara Ukwu kpọrọ ndị ohi na ndị ama were bịa obodo a.
This is the BIAFRA national anthem.
Chọpụ ihe mere ka ọtụtụ mekwa onye ọbụla ga-akpọkwa Biafra ala ọsụ a. Ihe mere ka ọtụtụ megidere n'ụwa mmadụ famili ọbụla nwoke nwaanyị ọbụla ga-anọghịta wee sịkpa na Biafra ya sịkpa ya Biafra asị ya. Ihe mere ka ọtụtụ ihe mere ọsụ mekpa ya.
Please, I would like us to take down
Ọ̀ṣun,
I would like us to take down
Ọ̀ṣun,
I would
obodo
like
ọma.
us to take down the video. We would go into details of this video in the future, but I want us to look at how the pointer goes directly to an individual, where name is being mentioned. The community leaders are saying that an individual brought criminals to the community. Mazichi Costin, what are the implications of individualizing a struggle? Looking at what we just saw now.
Well, you know, this is what the leadership have been crying over for about 5 years now. You know, letting us understand the implication of promotion of individualism above institutionalism. I mean to say, permit my word. But we never understood. Those who committed the crimes claimed they were sent by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or they were doing those things they were doing because they wanted to free, quote, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, unquote. But would they have boldly say we are doing it because the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra asked us to do? No, they can't. So it's easy for somebody to corrupt a system where there is promotion of individual identity. Because anybody can lie with that individual. The same individual can as well get corrupt and start undermining the essence of the entire project. You know, one thing people do not understand is this. When you're dealing with an institution, the essence of bureaucratic processes is to filter out fraud, filter out fake. Because by the time you go to one process to the other, for example, you're trying to say the leadership told you this, and the leadership said, okay, report to the continental rep, report to the national rep, report to the zonal, report to the local or authority or the unit. Before you could go through those channels with falsehood, you'll be forced to get yourself exposed in one of those stages. But when you want to lie and say, oh, an individual told me to do this, you have jump processes that would have even filtered your true identity. So what you're seeing these people saying, why are they saying this? The individual they might be calling his name might not even be aware of the carnage that these criminals committed. But because individualization was the order of that period, they were easily to say, oh, we are doing it because of this man, we are doing it because of this. Ask yourself, why are the communities not saying it is the leadership of IPOB that did this? Because it is difficult for you to lay claim on institution without you being subjected into critical evaluation. So that is one of the disadvantages of individualism, you know, shredding the entirety of a struggle like this. This video is one of the disadvantages. Ndewo.
Thank you, Maz Justin. Would be taking this video in the nearest future because there are still a lot of issues to unravel as regards to this video. But what we try to do is to point out the issue of individualization, the disadvantage of individualization, and the institutionalization. Mazi Obasi, from your own view, a particular name continues to ring bell. And this, in fact, to the point that they even made reference to his name, the name of his village. So that means his identity is clear in an organization that is supposed to operate under an institution. Mazi Obasi, what is your thought on what we just listened to in a very brief, you know, concise manner?
Okay, Mazi. You Let me say this. This will be a little bit controversial, but let me say it. That having an institution is not a watertight guarantee that individual leaders will not want to act individually. But it's a guarantee that when they do, it will be extremely obvious that they are acting in personal capacity, and as such, they will be rightly held accountable, and the whole world will know that this is an individual act. What do I mean by that? If you have an institution like I'm just adding to what Mazi Austin has said. If you have a fully functional institution, there is bound to be bureaucracy. There is bound to be a requirement for a meeting. There is bound to be a requirement for a quorum to be formed, for a decision making to be effective and valid. There is bound to be approval from certain quarters before an action or an act takes place, or before an order is given. When a leader acts on a personal note, it will be clear not just to the people in that institution, but to everyone. And as such, when you are required to present an evidence, you are able to present that. Now, as individuals, as people, we must be intelligent enough to identify when people are acting in their official capacity and when they are not, irrespective of what office that they occupy. That is why, even in this little privilege that we have, when I'm on my personal page, I say whatever I want. When I'm on the official page of IPOB, I choose my word carefully, because to the outsider, they will presume whatever I say is the position of the leadership, because it's coming from an official platform, even though it is not a law. Now, to comment on the question you asked earlier on whether or not having a constitution validates the institutionalization, I will say yes, but they also need each other. It is the institution that gives that constitution legitimacy. The existence of that institution gives the constitution itself legitimacy, and in return, the constitution validates the acts and processes, and you know the establishment of whatever decision that institution takes, gives it that life, give it that validity. So they work hand in hand, and none really is above the other. But the institution, of course, is what gives that constitution validity, even though the constitution also validates the action and processes of the institution. I don't know if I'm able to respond accurately to what you're
Yes,
asking, Mazi.
yes, quite accurate. Working hand in hand, absolutely. Both instruments are needed to be able to function effectively to guarantee one another's effectiveness. Absolutely right, Mazi Obas. I know that a lot of our people, when we talk about institutionalization, it looks like a very long word, and I can understand as well, and that is why we'll continue to make sure that we are here to leverage on the knowledge that we have, and also educate our people on the need for them to understand the work the leadership is doing. Mazi Austin is out, and I believe he will be back soon, in a very short period of time. I would like to see if the number can be on the screen, plus 3938817796665, while we try to encourage callers to call in, make their opinions known, and also make their contribution, ask questions. We are here to take questions. We have seen on the comment section a couple of comments there. Many people are commenting. So many other people are also kind of contradictory to what we are saying. Naturally, we expect contradictions from opinions. We expect contrary views. But the number on the screen will also give you the opportunity to call in and ask questions, and also give us some of your thoughts as regards to the subject matter. We've seen, Maz Austin is back. We've seen how the leadership is working assiduously, effectively, to see that they deliver a total authority to the people. Because from what we've seen, it's like taking a power from a monopolized individual or a monopolized personnel into the hand of the people. Mazi Austin, are you there? Yes. So, do you think our people have the capacity to play their own role in this institutionalization process? Because I know that the people have a great role to play. It's not just the work of the leadership. Mazi Austin, do you think the Biafran people have the capacity to play their own role in the journey for the institutionalization of the Biafran struggle?
Well, I would have preferred the question comes in this way. Do you think the Biafran people are playing their own role? Because if you say, do I think they will play, it seems we are not taking into cognizance the great works the Biafran people are doing. What we are doing today is our own role towards helping the institutionalization of this movement. I have also spoken to many people who are also in one way or the other doing. So if you say, do I think there is a role they will play, I think is that question, that stage has been crossed, it has been passed. Rather, we should be identifying the role they are already playing. The coordinators you see all over the nations backing up the institutionalization process is a role they are playing. The IPOB members scattered all over the world, standing strongly with the leadership. It is the role they are playing. The average person, sustaining the media campaign to mainstream and establish this great panel, it is a role. So when you now say, do I think they have a role to play? Seems we are living in self-denial, because already the people are already playing the role. What we are doing today, we are playing our own role. The coordinators all over the world are playing their own role. The members are playing their own role. There is a strong symbiotic relationship that our people are doing. I spoke with somebody today from Cyprus, a lecturer in Cyprus University and also a PhD holder in international university. And perhaps after this program, I'm going to share to you an article, a journal he published in one of the international, recognized platform. He wrote, he published a journal, despite the effort to undermine the publication of that intellectual output by certain intelligence, ally of Nigeria, did everything to suppress the publication of that journal, because that journal did a very good PR for this movement. And I asked him, I said, why would you even risk your graduation of your doctorate degree for the sake of it? He said he did it because he wants the movement to survive. And the same individual today is doing his own at the individual level to make sure he contributes to the institutionalization. So, to me, is kind of obstinate to say, what do we think? Permit me, the moderator. Perhaps I have to withdraw the word obstinate, but I think it might not really be, compatible with the current happening to say, what do I think the people can do? No, they are doing amazingly well. Our people are doing amazingly well. And the
Yes,
leadership is.
Mazi Austin, that is going to, I think that is going to be the core cross of our discussion today as the line opens. I want
Yeah.
individuals from different parts of the world, our viewers and our followers, to call in and tell us what role are they playing to help and enhance IPOB institutionalization. Go ahead.
So before we let them speak on that, before we let them start outlining on that, I want to tell you that at the corporate level, the effort of the Biafran people are highly recognized. Look at the press statements coordinators all over the world issued. I tell you, this is an outstanding job they are doing. So, you know, when you when you create a movement to be people's oriented, people's project, not individual project, you have created a strong, you know, attractant, because people want to be committed to what they believe is theirs, not what we tell them is someone's brand. So already we are not seeing that people are ready to work, to share their time, to share their resources, to share their wealth of experience, like the doctor I spoke with in Cyprus. So our people are now configured to work for the movement, because they are not seeing a movement that is geared and configured towards people's project, not individual project. Ndewo.
Thank you very much. Mazi Obasi, are you there?
Absolutely, I'm here.
Yes, I will be expecting calls, WhatsApp calls, plus 3938817796665. Mazi Obasi, Mazi Austin tend to disagree with me as regards to, well, I wouldn't say it's disagreement, because the question is, what role do you think the people can play? And he's telling me that the people are already playing their role. Mazi Obasi, do you think our people are doing enough in their individual capacities to help with the institutionalization project that the leadership of IPOB have embarked on? Do you think they are doing enough? And if they are doing enough, what can be done more? If they are not doing enough, how do we encourage them to do more? The line is open for callers to tell us, what are you doing in your capacity to contribute to IPOB institutionalization project? Mazi Obasi, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mazi. To be able to ascertain whether or not one is doing enough, you need to first of all ascertain what tools. have you given to that individual? What tools have those people had? Now, we are talking about a people who endured, whose forefathers endure 3 brutal years, 30 months of brutal, brutal genocidal war. They came out of that situation and depended on survival for the greater part of their life, right? And we have seen these same people living in this environment where their identity has become completely criminalized. They are not even allowed to mention their collective identity, which is Biafra. They have witnessed people get jailed simply because they published an article that contains the name Biafra shortly after the war. They noticed their properties confiscated. Those who did not experience it directly knew people who experienced it. They came out of this at a point where they needed leadership to point them in the right direction. Their enemies gave them a pre-packaged leaders that has been pre-programmed to push their mind into a certain ideology, which is the one Nigerianism. They went through that situation just a few years ago and they came out of it. And this same subject that they knew had put a lot of people in trouble was reintroduced to them. And they are adopting it and they are working with it. And in just space of 14 years, Mazi, they have been able to not just lift themselves by their bootstrap, they have been able to pull themselves together, organize themselves, make an impact, making headline, and have built organization and network across almost every country of the world. And above all, these are the people that have been known to have loved their own. And the peak of this achievement is that someone who was once a symbol of their resilience, who was once a symbol of their freedom, who was once a symbol of their strength, betrayed them. And they have the courage and the audacity to say, you know what? That identity for which we were killed, for which our ancestors were killed, for which our entire ethnicity was criminalized, that identity is our priority. You have done your best, but we are not going to support you just because we love you. Get out. Do you know how many people in the world that has such mental ability to be that firm in the face of such trial and challenges? And I have just described to you the people that you are requiring from, if they have done enough or not. These are Biafrans. Yes, there are few who, of course, will be blowing to wherever the wind takes them to and fro. But these people have come out to say, we are doing what we need to do. We don't care how we have done it. As long as you have gone wrong, as long as you have betrayed us, we are putting you aside. Yes, we love you, but we love our freedom more. I don't think there is any other thing that needs to be done to support this project of institutionalization more than that. So, by so saying, I am simply saying that our people have done very, very well. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. There are room for improvement. And we can enumerate that maybe in a different discussion because it's long. But they have done well, judging from where we are coming from, Mazi.
Thank you very much, Mazio Obasi. That was quite an emotional rendition there. Let's take a caller. First caller, good evening, caller, your name and where you're calling from. Hold on. Just hold on, please. Let's see, because you are not coming out. Your voice is not coming clearly. Let me see if I can work on the audio system. Just a moment, please. I think you can do better now. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay. I'm greeting all of you in the studio, and by name Master Pastor Master Chika Austin, and yourself, Master Kim Patrick. My name is Ifan Chukwumada Apichi, and I'm reaching you from the Netherlands. Now, I want to go straight because people say that thought comes to you. I want to start with the question of institutionalization of a movement or an idea. You gave an example of how long it took to hatch the idea of European Union, and before it was European Community, and then it became a union, and then it became monetary union, and now we are at a stage where they are talking about political union. So you see that it has stages and stages, and mind you, in a complex situation as in Europe, so complex is Biafra land also. So the Europeans, they take it one by one, policy by policy. They seek consensus. The decisions in European Union are made by consensus. There are some regions that are more affluent. There are some regions that will have objection, but they will be talking and trying to calm the people who have objection, trying to find the common ground among people who have objection until they are on one line. So it is not an easy job. I can tell you that, for instance, when I came to the Netherlands, who are you to get, like asylum seekers, or who are you to get permission to stay in the Netherlands as an asylum seeker? They don't. They say Nigeria is good. Anything our people talk them, they will not listen. And so that road was not open to our people. But because these people are on one thing our people must know is that change is constant. It is not always negative to have change. Because if European Union, especially like the country I am in here now, and I know some other European countries, but even our press or the British, they still give our people asylum now because they change their place according to the situation. So what I'm talking about is that the institutionalization of Biafra movement, because Biafra is a country in remake, because there was a country. So we are trying to rebuild and remake and restore Biafra. And we have to engage our people at home, engage our people in diaspora with information, with explanation, with patience to explain to them. It is a pity what happened in Osihito and Ekututu and all parts of Biafra where Nigerian system, both their false flag and the covert operations, or even people who under the cloak of self-determination hurt our people. It is a pity. And we have to pacify those people. We have to approach those people to tell them it's not what IPOB stands for. We want your welfare. You want your progress. You want your children to be able to go to school in safety and then be able to get a job. We don't want a child to go and die in a desert. We want you to not be killed by the Fulani or anybody who want to make you either Islamic or to keep you under bondage because you have oil or gas or because you have a fertile land. So it will take time. It will take consistency. It will take superior argument. People can argue anything, but our cause is just and people know it. If they listen to you, they will give you their objection, and then you will be in a better position to explain them to them how to, to bridge that gap they are seeing. For instance, we must show our people in the riverine or other parts of Biafra, except apart from the Igbo ethnic Christianity, that we are not in the business of dominating them, that they will be in control of their space and their minerals and contribute a certain percentage of quota, to the central government to do other things. And that there we have to maintain their ethnic nationality and their ethnic language so that it should not be like Igbo want to swallow them. So when they understand that and they look at Nigeria as it is today, they will buy the idea, but the fear of the known is left for us, both people from that place who buy our idea and ideology, to explain to them that these people mean well, IPOB mean well, we wish you safety, we wish you welfare, we wish you peace. Now, I go to, this is why the information is very, very important, and I like the level IPOB is now. Our people are no more shouting and cursing your mother and your father. Our people are the IPOB, which I am in now, led by Maazị Chike as HDOS. We are agreeing. We are presenting you the points of our objection or of our motive or of our goal, our direction. Why? Why are we doing what we are doing? Why are we believe in non-violence agitation, and why even in statistics it pays more? They reach their goals more. Those who look for it without violence. It doesn't mean that when you are non-violent you will cross your hand and let somebody chop your head or kill you. No. While you are doing non-violence, you still reserve the inalienable natural right to self-determination. Now, to cut the long story short, I want to go to where we are asking what if our people are doing enough, to play their part in the institutionalization. Now, I'll tell you, this is what I'm saying. It's not a news. We are in a rock. We have been played, but it takes maturity of mind and sincerity of purpose and love of your people and your country. We are looking for Biafra to say, no matter how much I like you, even if you are my friend, my bosom friend here, I have broken with some friends because of that. They are not. It's not even about this the present case. Before, if I am a friend with you and I'm telling you the virtue, the reason, the need to restore Biafra, if you are not responding, we can be friends on particular issues. If there's a place you want to go, and if I want to listen to Radio Biafra, I will not go to you. Some of them are cut off in total. But what I'm saying is that the situation we are placed in Biafra agitation has made our people to come up. It's true what Maazị Obas and Maazị Austin said is that there are big room for improvement, but our people are coming up. Our people individually are breaking that mold of loyalty to a name or to a group. The question I've been asked now: what is the name or group standing for? And I give an example. That is a very short example. If every property, if every fund in a movement is under the control of one person, wherever that property is, wherever that asset is, wherever that fund is, that person feels entitled to it. I'm not a party to that, and I will never be a party to that. We came to restore Biafra, not to worship somebody or not to contribute to somebody's ostentatious living. And therefore, any Biafran who is what is sought, we know that the directors of state, the reorganization and the institutionalization of the IPOB movement is the only thing that will give us what we need. Those who are sleeping, I'll end to this. Our people say, we used to say it in this Biafra movement, that it is very, very, very hard, if it's possible at all, to wake somebody who is pretending to be sleeping. If somebody is naturally sleeping, if somebody is ignorant, I'm reticent to use that word ignorant, but some people don't know. So if somebody don't know and you explain to him, he will understand. But if somebody, for any reason, for inducement or for love or for personality, they don't want to listen to logic, you cannot change their mind until situation and reality will change their mind. They will turn around too. So for some of them, it will be too late. But for those who are awake, we have to try, do our best in the media, personally, to wake our people up, to join the right path to restore Biafra. They won.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful one. I gave you all the time you gave.
Okay. Okay. Uh, in respect to um in respect to what the caller contributed is really amazing. Is really amazing, and we must also understand in this case that, like he pointed out, he also reiterated on the issue of EU. You know, people do not understand the importance of institutionalization and the configuration of institutionalization towards, sectorial development. People do not understand it. No country want to relate with you on comprehensive approach. No country. No country wants to relate with you on federalist approach. No country has ever done that, and no country will start learning it today. Countries start relationship with you on sectorial basis. And this is one thing our people have not really taken time to comprehend. Like when somebody tells you that he went to country A or B, that he went there and they are talking about Biafra. Talking about Biafra on what sector? On what sector are you talking about it? On what sector are you, discussing it? Very important. Our people do not understand all these things. So it's only when you move on institutionalization, it's only when you move on sectorial development that you now created a platform at which people can start relationship with you, which people can activate relationship with you. These are things our people should understand. I think Mazi Obas, I don't know if you have any other thing to add up.
Yes, I think I'm back to the studio. Maybe I was disconnected as a result of network issues. I don't know why this evening the network continues to go off and on, but I didn't follow up what you said, Mazi Austin, because I was offline. As regards to what the last caller said, because we are trying to get in touch with another caller here who have called also earlier, and I promise I'm going to get in touch with him. He has persisted, he want to make his contribution. Mas Justin, as regards to what the last caller said, have you been able to make any point in that regard?
Yes, I think he made a very good point. He made a very good point, and I must commend him for that.
Okay, let's see if we can take this caller. uh, he continued to have network issues. Mazi Obasi, you made a very passionate rendition. You made a very passionate analysis as regards to where our people are coming from and where we have found ourselves today. That gave me some sort of emotional, pause, if I may use the word. Um, from what the last caller have said, is there any input you like to make?
Mazi Patrick, I think he has his contribution is very
Yes, I think Papa Caesar. Let's see if we can take this caller. Hello, caller. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Ndewo Maazị Ikemba Dike. Am I correct, Maazị Ndewo?
You're welcome to the program. Your name?
Okay, and I also extend my warmest greeting to our noble comrades in the studio with you, Maazị Chief Austin and Maazị Obasi.
Yes.
Maazị, thank you for this wonderful program because at this point in time, I believe that IPOB as a movement has gotten it right. And like we always say, that the widest room is the room for improvement. The improvement has happened. Maz, I would like to dive into the first question you posited to your friends in the studio.
But before you continue, please, before you continue, I want to make sure that your voice is coming out clearly. I want to confirm through my colleagues in the studio. Can you hear him clearly, Mazi Austin? Can you hear? Okay, go ahead, 100%. Go ahead.
It's actually breaking from here. It's breaking.
Yeah, because I also can attest that your voice keep breaking. I don't know if it's as a result of the location or maybe
Or
your
maybe
problem.
AirPod.
I don't know what the issues are, and that is why I wanted to ascertain. But I would also want to see from the audience. I want to see from our audience if they are getting you clear, because it wouldn't make any sense you talking and nobody's hearing. So I would like to get from the comment section of our social media platforms if they are hearing you clearly. But on the interim, I will urge you to continue until we get response. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Mazi, I believe I'm coming out clear because I've changed my location. Confirm if I'm coming out clear, Mazi.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Mazi. Like I said, my name is Mazi Bona. So, speaking on the issue at hand, the first question you posited to your comrade and friends in the studio, Mazi Austin and Mazi Obasi, which you said from the naysayers, I know, because you are playing the devil's advocate in this very instance. People who say enough of discussion on IPOB institutionalization, that we should move on to the next level. I don't know. Mazi, as far as I'm concerned, the institutionalization of IPOB, to me, I don't believe it is something like Genesis, the book of Genesis 1 verse 1, which said, let there be light or whatever. So this is not a command that just come out and everything begin to put their place into form into places, or things begin to connect to each other and it works automatic like that. No, it doesn't work like that. What we are doing is process based. So we grow from strength to strength. The leadership, why I respect them in this instance is because what we had before was, let me just put it this way, everybody was deceived. It was a kind of duping or playing on the emotion and intelligence of everybody, because I understand that the former leader of this very organization, there is this psychology he played, which I'm beginning to connect the dot now. He built the organization to a kind of repel or push away people who have intellectual prowess, who have this intellect, not undermining the people who have come so far to bring the struggle to the present position we are today. No, but there is this toxic way he projected the Biafra struggle, so that it will only control the people who are absolute loyal and with no atom of question. So this is the mindset he built the organization, and he was almost getting it right for himself, and he was working for him. But where I respect and adore this DOS, not because of their names or where they come from, but because of that name DOS is a body for me. Why I respect them is because they've been able, because they had the opportunity to say, since this, because everybody was deceived, even them, the leadership, they were also deceived too, believing and trusting in one man. Now, instead of them as a body, to say, since this man don't do like this, or since this man has, scattered everything, or is playing this kind of things, I can let me leave this thing and face my life. I'm a principled man and all of that, average Igbo man lifestyle. If I did mean, sometimes I ask myself, I did mean these people make this type of decision, and at the end of the day, when they are separate way, abandoning the organization. Today, where will IPOB be? And where will the supporters who has identified on cameras everywhere that they are members of this organization, what will be their fate? But instead of this leadership to do that part, they said no. They saw the project, know that the hope is the actualization of that Biafra, which Mazen Namdekano didn't start. Is our present, is our reality. Most of us championing today, we were not there when the war happened, but it's our history. So it's our heritage. We have to uphold it and make it come to reality. This is why these people took up the mantle, dust themselves, and begin to work. They didn't just go and start making pronouncements or going into propaganda. No, they begin to work, sensitizing people, separating the wheat from the chaff. Today, they are growing because they want this organization to outlive them, because nobody has the number of days it will take for Biafra to come. No, nobody knows. It's a process. This is reality. Anybody telling you that he knows is actually is lying to you. You're being deceived. So, knowing fully well that there is no date for it, they know that without institution, they might go out and maybe some of them will happen with the organization. This is why it becomes an institution. Just draw it military today. No matter how corrupt today, how they can go and bring a civilian to be the general in the army. It's not possible. That is institution. So it has become the people's identity. You that is a member of that such organization that has built their institution with their identity, their do's and don'ts, international community, the world has known. Now, if you are going to embassy, this is the importance of this institution. That's what I'm trying to portray here. If you're going to an embassy anywhere to go and you're identifying yourself as an IPOB member, they're no longer looking at you. They are not looking at the organization which you're representing there, their image. Their image. So when they know that this organization is an institution that is known by SYZ, which are positive and in line with international procedures, you see, you will be granted free access. This is why you see Nigerians, when they go to embassies, you see them making camera and shouting like mad people, they are treating them bad. It's because they have a bad institutions back home. So this leadership has been able to build that, and they are still working on that. So anybody coming to tell us that we should stop discussing, that person doesn't understand what institution means, because this media aspect is also an arm of that institution. So they are doing their work, which is sensitization. It doesn't stop other arms from doing the work that is expected of the organization. And lastly, before I go, Maz, I will also like our people to understand the reason why this institutionalization is very, very key and dear to us. It helps to chase away the criminal people with criminal mindset who want to come and hide under IPOB to be committing crime, and it become umbrella. Because one thing I know in life, that criminals don't want to hide under institutions. They like to operate in vacuum, in a lawless place. So anywhere there is institution, there is organogram, there is procedure. People grow from stage to stage based on their performance and adherence, you don't see criminals there. So you naturally chase them away. So those are one of the important for our people to know. Mazi, I think I will end it here and they will for others.
Thank you very much. Fantastically done. Thank you very much. That was our brother that called, and I don't even know where he called in from because at the beginning the line was breaking and I couldn't even hear him, but subsequently he was able to put it right. I think we have another caller. Hello, caller. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Yeah, Mazi, I say may Elohim bless everyone of us that is in studio, especially our brothers and sisters, Mazi.
Can you please separate yourself from the noise in your environment? Is there a way you can step aside so that we can hear you clearly, please?
Am I coming out now?
Yes, go ahead.
So, Mazi, what I want to talk about was the comments you made about our people, whether if we have done enough. I think.
No. The question is not if we have done enough. The question is how our people are, how our people are ready. How ready are our people to play their role in the institutionalization process?
Yeah, be it that it may be, I will still say it, based on what have happened on this program or this stage, the process before we came to this very place. I guess you should know that our people are people that that is like being cattered away without no proper upbringing. We are not involved when it comes to the civil service system. We are like people that on our own would breed ourselves. So now coming to get to hear the words from Radio Biafra and try to go along with it, and how the system then was. It was more of this religious settings and more of an individual position, and we now all imbibe in it, and all the things that have come to happen. And since I was born, let me just put it this way, because I like adding up adage, because it says lots of words in a single word. That I've not seen any time anywhere where a train hold an instant break, and at the same time we're saying Shida, that if he was not applauded, I think he would nod his head and applaud his own self. Our people have tried in every way, and why we always think that there are more expected out of us, it is because of what we invested. And Mazi, another thing is that we are preoccupied with so many things. And I want to add this, that if it's not for the injustice being meted on us in Nigeria, the terrorism going on, and all this thing, I think Nigeria would have even had more edge. Because one of the things that keep propelling us is there is no back to go to, nowhere to fall back to. And everything that you look back to when it comes to the settings of Nigeria, it is all misery, it is all death. But when it comes to what you just said presently, I think, the institutionalizing of IPOB and the patience of our people being able to take their time to really understand, it is something that is worth applauding. And when it comes to our present approach individually and collectively, I'm telling you that it is just because we are just in this very new process. Mazi, in the nearest future, the kind of achievement, the kind of movement, the kind of progress that will come out of what this very leadership have done, I'm telling you that it will even be more progressive, more faster than what we have done in the last 15, 14, 16 years or so. Because if our people can endure what have happened in these very 4 years and also come to this very realization that we have been, making some little error and also, accepted this very, new, um, position. It shows that our people are eager and they are ready. And also they are willing, and not just that they are willing, that whatever that is expected out of us, whatever that is required out of us, whatever that is dear for us to do, that we can even do more than what we, what we are being given. Mazi, the media arms of this institution and the leadership is not in all ramification of all our works, in the works of in our every area of our lives. But the IPOB members and non-IPOB members have been able to inject all these, orders, all this, restructuring and all of these things, even to the common man and in the streets and in everywhere. That shows that even the body language of our people, that shows that in every sectors of our life, in every individuals and in every IPOB member scattered all over the world, it's just like a machine that is waiting to go to a particular place. So I just thank the leadership for the patience which they have exhibited. And if not for their body language and how they have approached most of all of these things, I think we would have fallen behind. But this shows that if there is a good leadership and with this kind of followers, we can. The sky is not even our destiny or our limit. That we can even achieve more than what we have achieved before. And as time progresses, there is this kind of understanding that even the layman gets to understand, even without listening to broadcast, because the every issue is being laid out even without you listening to a broadcast. Because this quietness from the leadership, it's not that they are quiet, but they allow people to take their time to view issues than mixing issues with issues, because that will definitely bring confusion. That is where I applaud our people more, and that is where I have more confidence, because their ability to hold on to issues and really ask on their own, ask some pertinent questions on issues, on all these events, and also come up with a particular stand, which the leadership will definitely come to that very position, which is where the leadership has in mind, but they will allow the people to get to, arrive to that position. That is what have really helped us a lot. And I think in the nearest future, this very leadership and this very movement will even go beyond what we have achieved in the time past. I don't know if I've really
Thank you.
made myself
Thank you. Yes,
clear,
absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, you did it. That is why I allowed you to, I gave you all the time in the world to express yourself. Thank you very much for that contribution. Yeah, thank you. Well, I don't know. Are the guests in the studio still? Are they still alive? Mazi Obasi, are you there? Mazi Austin, are you there? We'll be rounding up very soon.
We are much alive. We are much alive.
Yes, yes. I wanted to ascertain that you guys are still breathing. We've seen calls. We decided to allow people to, because most of the time we give them 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. You have three. No, but today we've given all the callers all the time they needed to express themselves, and people are beginning to convince me that our people are doing what they should in their own contribution to IPOB institutionalization project. Because why I put that question across is because the leadership cannot carry the burden alone. They need the support of the Biafran people. They need the encouragement of the Biafran people, and they also need our people to embrace their policies. Mazi Austin, when it comes to policy embracement, do you think our people are effectively embracing the policies, just like the template that we saw read out by the head of Directorate of State? In your own objective opinion and understanding, are our people embracing the leadership policy and the template?
Okay, well, I can tell you that from what happened after the outlining of the new movement, the new direction of the movement by the leadership, the reaction, I took my time to understudy the reaction. And what I can say here is that it was long awaited from the side of our people. And that was the reason why immediately that was outlined, the people came in. And if you look at what is going on today, you would agree with me that there seems to be a relative mental stabilization. I'm not talking about some of us who choose to play the psychophancy card. But when you look at the level of membership of this struggle, you find out that people tend to be, highly welcoming to the new development. And that shows you the level of legitimacy people have given, legitimacy and credence people have given to the new policy. So generally speaking, I can tell you that the policy is a popular one, because what makes a policy popular or unpopular is the level of acceptability and legitimacy. And I think this very policy is really enjoying that.
Yes, Mazi Obase, when it comes to the level of acceptance, the last time we talked about resistance, and today we are talking about our people level of acceptance, how they are embracing the policies of the Directorate of State, of the indigenous people of Biafra, based on the templates that have been made available for them. Because the template was not for the leadership itself, but for the Biafran people. In your own objective understanding, how do analyze our people's embracement of these policies? Mazi Obasi.
No, Mazi Patrick, thank you very much. And yes, how do we analyze our people level of acceptance to the policy? First of all, we have to understand that what has been released so far is a template. Now, the policy in full, in terms of the constitution or whatever document that is going to be that binding document that we are anticipating, is not yet fully out. But at this stage, the template is, of course, they refer to it as a thriller, is a way of testing the waters to see how the people responded to it after they have hungered for it for a while. Remember that even before this announcement or before this discussion we are having here, we've been having this conversation on this particular topic on our original program on X. And there, people also express their interest. In fact, they indicated that they are actually expecting something like that to happen and that it was long overdue. So, yes, people expected it, people needed it. Now, the template that has been given and some of the things that have been listed in it, have the people now have the idea of what to expect. Yes, they are now aware. The awareness level has already been initiated. They are aware of the policies as they are to expect. They are aware of something called Igwebike. They are aware of the Secretary General, organ of the movement. They are aware of certain new things that are going to be implemented. The details they don't have, so they are aware of that. And as they are aware of that, have they shown that they understood it? A lot of people, yes. I will say, maybe from where I stand, I can say a lot of people. But if you put it in the greater number in terms of the entire Biafran, I will say, of course, few or a handful of people have an understanding what they are to expect, or they have now understood at least what they have received, which is a template. And you and I are here to also make sure that that understanding becomes very deep. When they now understand, they go to the stage where they begin to ask questions. They begin to consult. The people who like to think will sit back and, you know, interrogate the template. They will ask questions. They will question themselves, they will go back and forth, they will create that persona within themselves to play the devil advocate and the opposition and everything. Those who can't do that, those who don't want to engage their brain in that rigorous exercise, will of course consult other people to ask them what they think about it and get a feedback. Some of them, of course, what they want to hear, some of them, they just want to get the feedback and then they evaluate it. Are we doing all this? Yes, the people are doing all that. And has that shown the level of acceptability of the template? I want to be very specific. The template that give us an idea, a peek, a peek into what to come or what is to come. I mean, a peek into the future. Yes, the people have all these things. And you can tell that the acceptability is high, like Mazi Austin said. You can feel that everywhere is quiet. You can feel that peace. You can feel that acceptance. You can feel that the people are happy that the template they have been given represent exactly what they have been clamoring for. So these steps that I've listed now give anybody who want to check, who want to verify the idea that indeed this template, this idea, this process is acceptable by our people and they cannot wait to have the full picture in the form of our constitution or whatever document that we are going to be given.
Thank you, Mazi Obasi. Quite apt there. The question is very, very, very important because to a very large extent, we also need to challenge the mind of our people to understand that the IPOB institutionalization is not a subject to be left for anybody, that it is a general and a consensus subject for everybody, that everybody must get involved. It's very, very important that our people understand that each and every one of us have a role to play in this process. The template have been read out, have been made available, and I believe that the hard copies are also going to be available, which we are expecting soon. And as soon as we get them, we'll continue to even go deeper, and we'll be bringing them here in details as well to our people as soon as those hard copies are available, like the head of Directorate of State, Mazi Chikedozie, promised that they are going to come in hard copies. Mazi Austin, I would like to take your thought because we'll be rounding up maybe in the next 10 minutes or thereabout, so that we'll be able to also look at perception not just of the Biafran people, but perception of those who are not really Biafrans, but who are, interested in what we are doing. We know that there are non-Biafrans who are monitoring the activities of IPOB, who are looking at how the events are being managed, also showing concerns, genuine concerns for that matter. Mazi Austin, what do you think will be the perception of these persons or individuals and groups who are not part of the Biafran struggle? They are not in IPOB, they are not even Biafrans, but they are interested in what we are doing. What do you think will be their perception in this project
Regard.
of institutionalization? Yes.
Okay, thank you once again. I believe whenever you hear Somaliland, whenever you hear the Kurdish, whenever you hear the Catalonia, whenever you hear the Scottish, whenever you hear the Palestinians, wherever you hear this and this, you are not from those places. Am I correct? But
Absolutely.
you always want to have a reaction in respect to why is news coming about these people. You see, one thing we must understand in life is that the world is interconnected. There is always conscious and unconscious symbiotic relationship between South Pole and North Pole, whether you talk about Eastern Hemisphere and Western Hemisphere. There is this unpronounced symbiotic relationship. Let me tell you something. No country, no entity, no individual at the highest level would want to engage with a movement that was previously configured the way IPOB was configured, because it could be best described as a cult, or should I say, an unserious movement to be called a serious movement. Why I say this, I know it might be harsh to some people, but it's better we start speaking the hard tune to ourselves so that we can understand what realism is all about. You see, when you cannot meet an entity and you tell them you want to come and discuss about an individual. Do you know what a state actor is? Do you know the cost of state actor deploying even her voice to you is a huge asset? And you are not telling them what they are very conservative of deploying to their fellow state actors. You are not telling them to deploy it for you, an individual. That is how daft we are. In fact, as a matter of fact, I ran through a cousin of mine today, and I was shocked when he was telling me that Israel has given order to the Nigerian government that they should release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I almost collapsed in his parlor. I almost collapsed, you know, because and I asked him, where is the source of your information? The next thing he did was he flinked the screen of his smart television and uploaded something that, the content, those guys chasing clouds online, who are chasing online money. One of the, video they made, and he said I should watch it. I told him, if he insists on saying this, I'm going to collapse and you'll be forced to get an ambulance to take me for an emergency. So that is the deplorable mental state of most of our people. You see, these guys you're seeing there, let nobody let nobody misunderstand this fact that state actors, non-state actors, allies out there would want to work with you. Yes, every movement that is properly configured is attractive to allies. It's a natural thing. Just like when a lady is beautiful and she dresses well, she's naturally attractive to suitors. What we are doing, so when we talk about global engagement, global the conscience of the world, people think we are talking about heavenly affair. No, it is purely humanity-based affair. You see, when you approach people and you tell somebody, or a move that or a block or a group or an entity, that they should deploy her resources over an individual. That is how naive we are, authoritatively stupid we are. As if People you are asking to deploy their asset do not understand the value of their asset. But when you tell an entity and say, please come and help these people, come and help my people, it is people-oriented project, not individual-oriented project. So far, so good. The action the leadership took is a wonderful signal to a serious world. We have proven to the world that, look, we have a supreme vision. We have a supreme project, not a supreme individual. That the mother project is the supreme. It shares the absolute place in our mind. Though individuals could be respected for one or two efforts they have given, it is done all over the world. But the core objective of this movement is to achieve the mother project, and the mother project is the restoration of Biafra. When you send such signal to the international community, they observe, they see you as somebody who is serious and disciplined to the mother project, who is less emotional, who have a less risk for investment. Because a country or an ally that wants to partner with you is investment oriented. Let us be frank here. He's investing for your future, and he believes that his interest in the future will be highly protected and rewarded. And you're not telling them to invest on individual who can be vulnerable as a result of sickness, death, or even restriction. Nobody does that. No country has ever done that. Countries invest in ideology, they invest in movement, they invest in a project. They do not invest on individual, because no individual has the capacity to attract global deployment of state actor asset. It has never happened. Even when, let me make this reference, and it's going to be funny. Even when head of states are under distress, other countries do not even deploy their asset to rescue them. When Maduro in Venezuela ran into problem in the hand of US, did China deploy her asset to fight for his release in the hand of US military? No. But China could do everything to defend Venezuela, not the individual player. And this is one thing, when we tell our people, understand this reality. Nobody is maligning anybody, but we can't keep on lying to ourselves. No country has ever deployed her asset to rescue an individual. Individual can sink, but a country can never be allowed to sink. Look at what is happening in Iran. When Ayatollah Khamenei was killed, Russia, China could not stop his killing. He's an individual. But Russia and China is doing everything to make sure that Iran as an entity does not sink. Because
Because
Iran is a
Mazi, that is where the issue of sovereignty comes in.
good. So, because Iran is a project, is a mission, is ideology, preservation of the entity is the supreme. You see, when you face challenge, you will realize that title is a fizzle thing. When you face a challenge, you understand that some of the titles you accept are not futuristic, are not time enduring. Ayatollah Khamenei says a supreme leader. Where is him? He's gone. But the real supreme entity, which is the Iranian society, is still there. Let us understand realism of life. So what we did, what the leadership did, is a good signal to the world. The world is now informed that, look, we have a core vision, we have a core project. We respect everyone who has fought, who is fighting, and who will fight for this great project. But no one occupies the supreme position except the Biafran project. They were.
Mazi, that was a very fantastic one. You just made it. Your analysis were practical, and these are events pinned to real life issues that we've experienced and we're experiencing. Unfortunately, we have to start rounding this program. We have to start winding down. we have to start whining that we do not have a choice. We've spent good quality time. And I promise we'll be coming back again next Friday, if time tarries, so that we can continue on the institutionalization of IPOB. It's not a subject that will go away so soon. In fact, we are going to hold on to this project, the discussion, the interpretations, the analysis, the embracing of the policies and the template, the explanation, like we said earlier, will continue to make it an issue of public interest, because I believe that there is a lot to be studied, a lot to be studied, a lot to be taught, especially to our people who still need more explanation as regards to the integrity of institution, because a lot of people just hear institutionalization, but they do not even understand what it means in details. And that is why we are here, to be able to make those detailed presentations. And I have very fine, refined gentlemen who have been able to a very large extent make their point and analysis apt and straight to the point, to the understanding of our audience. And I have taken my time to look at the comment section, and I feel a high level of satisfaction. The comment speaks for itself, that our people are aligning with what we are saying and what we are doing here, because there is truth. There is truth. There is truth in the message that we are giving out. There is no cover up. There is nothing to hide. And when you bring the truth to bear, it is easy for people to accept it. It is easy for the public to see the truth for its transparency. So for me, it's important that we continue to discuss institutionalization of IPOB. We are going to look at it in even a more broader perspective. Mazi Obasi, before we round up, I would like to take your thoughts. Mazi Austin just laid some point down, and I would like to, take your thought on the summary of whatever you think we need to, as we wind down on today's program. Give us a summary of your thought, Mazi Obasi.
No, Mazi Patrick, thank you very much. I will. Okay, I would have liked to deviate a little bit, but let me just stay on course.
Mazi, if you want to
Um,
deviate, you can deviate. I can give you maybe probably 3 minutes to do that. Then you can come back on course and make your final thought known.
okay. Um, I want to say that because because I am fascinated by numbers personally. I am not a numerologist. Let me say this, but I'm fascinated by numbers and how it relates to real life events. Symbols generally attract my attention, and I begin to look at other events, other things around the world, and the Biafran question, and I relate them with similar events, relate them with broader pictures, and I realize that this issue of, or this particular step we are taking now, call it institutionalization, call it, perfecting what we have been doing, call it whatever, it fits into that perfect numerical strength in terms of numbers. If you look at 1967 to the formation of IPOB to the number of years now, and between 2021 till now, and the events that happen, you will know that these are not just isolated events. I know I'm being a little bit vague. Yes, maybe when I resume my actual program on Radio Biafra, maybe we will treat that as a topic one of the days. But for those of you who are practicing Christians, have you ever asked yourself why a journey, forget about whether the event actually happens or not, but do you ever ask yourself why a journey that is supposed to take few months end up taking 40 years from Egypt to Canaan? Have you ever asked yourself why 12 spies were chosen? Have you ever asked yourself why it took the spies 40 days to spy the land of Canaan? Have you ever asked yourself why that consistency in terms of numbers? Fascinated by that to study what has happened in the Biafran question from 1967 till today, step by step. And I can say with full conviction that our cause is in line with nature. And all we need to do is to read the sign of time, contribute our quota, and be consistent. And Biafra will be a guarantee. That's all I want to say. Ndewo Mazi Patrick.
Thank you very much, Mazi Obasi. It's my pleasure to have the both of you gentlemen in the studio this wonderful evening, and I'm pleased to to host you and also say that your performance is wonderful as usual, and I hope that you'll be coming back again subsequently as we continue on the institutionalization project of IPOB, a project that have absolutely come to stay. And I believe that most of the people who are not falling in line now probably does not understand the genuine intention of the leadership of IPOB. So in our next episode, we'll be talking about the genuine intentions behind the institutionalization of IPOB. Very, very important because people need to understand, they need to know the genuine intention behind this institutionalization project, because through reading of their genuineness will help them understand that it is for the interest. It is for the interest of the public. It is for the interest of the Biafran people, and it is for the interest of the future of the Biafran struggle, and also to set pace for a future egalitarian society we are all aspiring to build. Gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much for coming. I also want to say thank you very much to our director of techniques, technical director on the background. I want to say thank you to Biafrans, non-Biafrans, audience, viewers and listeners around the world. We want to say thank you for staying so long with us in this wonderful program. And I hope and believe that in our next episode, you will be also coming forward as usual to join us. I want to especially send a thank you to those who called in and made their objections and made their contribution known. I want to say thank you to everybody who have supported us in one way or the other. We are here to serve you. This is BTV Europe. My name is Ikem Patrick DK. And until I come your way again, I want to say remain blessed, have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you all.
Nigeria,
first bandits.
General Yakubu Gowon, Nigeria, first bandit. The 32-year-old accidental leader. You lied about Aburi Accord. Everything else in your book is a lie. In your book, if you lied about Aburi, that you were having malaria and did not know what you signed, then everything else must be all lies.
You claim to be a Christian. You waited till Ojukwu is dead and started talking and started lying. You can't redeem your legacy with lies.
You lied that most the bullets and most bombs from the Nigerian army hit the palm trees and not human beings. Asaba massacre, people dressed in white.
They're the palm trees.
Women and children in the market square, they are palm trees,
right?
Your book belongs to the dustbin.
Trash bin.
Nigeria problems today.
Credit to you.
Hey. General Yakubu Gowon, you cannot redeem
your legacy with lies.
Today I told it, you live in Britain.
I told it.
And not in your one Nigeria that you murdered for.
Killed for. Ego genocide. Ego Holocaust.
Africa.
First bandits.
When was the last time you visited your village? You are the first bandit Nigeria ever produced.
Decisions you made destroyed Nigeria until today.
General Yakubu Gowon, Nigeria,
first bandits. You lied about Aburi Accord.
You were suffering malaria and did not understand what was discussed.
Everything else in your book must be all lies.
When you get to heaven, if you ever get there, God will ask you why you lied at all day.
Old man, God kept you alive for a reason, but you have failed to repent.
The hottest
part
of hellfire has been prepared for you.
He said.
No peace and happiness for you.
Not at all.
Amen.
Amen.
Ojukwu will be fanning your hellfire,
adding fuel to firewood.
Nigeria,
first bandit. Asaba people dressed in white are palm trees.
Nigeria,
first bandit.
2 million children starved to die.
Died are palm trees.
Africa,
first bandits.
God kept you alive for a reason, but you have failed to repent.
General Yakubu Gowon,
you cannot redeem
your legacy with lies.
Ojukwu will be fanning your hellfire,
adding fuel to firewood.
Asaba people,
palm trees.
Nigeria,
first bandits.
you will live to see
Nigeria separate. Spirit of 2 million children starved to death. At work.
a palm trees.
Aburi Accord malaria. Africa first bandits.
Read my lips, Igbos must be free worldwide before your eyes. Amen.